welcome to Babble About Books. My name is Tavia, and today you are joining me for my monthly TBR game, Spiraling Out of Books. It is a board game I created to get through all the books I own that I have not read yet before I can buy any more. It is a board game, and each month I roll 4 times, and each number on the die corresponds to a genre, and in that genre I have to pick a book from that and read it in that month to move spaces. And the end goal is to get a book haul because I am really bad at buying books and not reading them, and I have way too many books that I haven't read. So it's kind of prompting me to get through my TBR, and I can't buy books until I hit the book haul. Now last month in February I did end up hitting the book haul, and I did have to read all the books in February with an exception of one rollover to be able to get the book haul, except last month wasn't a good month for me mentally, and I had a whole lot of issues going on with my family and stuff. So I'm going to be a little gracious this once, and I did, out of the 4 books, finish one in February, but I did start the other ones as well in February, so I'm just going to roll them all over into March. I did complete 2 of them within the first 2 days of March, and I'm still reading the 3rd one. So we're just going to count it and say I was semi-successful last month, and I'm going to allow myself to buy books, so expect a book haul soon. Now we're going to go over what I read in February. I did participate in JD Ray Reid's Polarathon between the 1st and the 7th, as well as Books and Lala's Buzzwordathon. So we're going to go over the books I read in the first week of February for those 2 readathons. The first book I picked up was Captivate by Carrie Jones. This is a second book in the Need series by her. I read the first one last November, I believe, and I reread this one the first week for Polarathon. Basically, this is about a Zara who moves to Maine and gets thrown into this world with fays and werewolves and a whole bunch of other creatures, and she kind of has to figure out her place in the world and kind of where she comes from. And so I enjoy this series quite a lot, and I do have the 2 other ones. This is on my 2021 goals of finishing this series this year, so I'm happy to have knocked the second one out in the second month of the year. And then secondly, the second book I read for that Polarathon was Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. This book is about Marion, whose father is a moneylenderer, and he's not so good at it, so she takes over, and she's able to turn silver into gold. And when she does that, she kind of catches the eye of a pretty scary king in a different realm, I guess you could say. It's a polar fantasy. And so it's kind of the story of how she gets out from underneath him and kind of, you know, turns silver into gold pretty easily. I did read this and I did finish it. This was also for the Buzzwordathon, which was color in the title, Spinning Silver. Silver's a color, so 2 for 1 was great. I did read it. I did really enjoy it. I do want to reread it because, like I said, February just wasn't a good month for me, so I don't think I fully pulled everything out of it that I could. So this is definitely going to go on my reread shelf. I did enjoy it though, and I highly recommend it if you're kind of into retellings. So yeah, I enjoyed this, and I finished this in the first week of February. Okay, and then I picked up Let It Snow by John Green, Marion Johnson, and Lauren Marcel. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I did read, there's 3 books in here. I did read the first one, The Jubilee Express. Wasn't too impressed with it, which is why I didn't feel compelled to read the 2 other books in it. I can't really tell you what it's about except a girl on a train and there's a guy. Other than that, it just wasn't really impressive to me. I am going to keep this on my TBR and just read each book as its own separate, so I'm counting this as the 3rd book I read in the month of February. But I did read this for Polarathon. And yeah, I didn't enjoy it, but I'm going to continue with the book anyways, and hopefully the other 2 are really good because I also know that this was turned into a movie that has all 3 stories in it, so I kind of want to read this and then watch that and kind of see what I think about it. Now for my actual TBR for February for my game, I had 4 books, and the first one was Into the Wild by John Krakauer, I believe is how you pronounce it. This is about Christopher McCallis. He went to the Alaska wilderness and then was found dead. It's hopefully not, it is a spoiler to a point, but I feel like everybody knows about Into the Wild. A lot of people read it in high school. But yeah, so I enjoyed it. I listened to it on audio. and I flew through it. It was really nice. It was really, really interesting, and I learned a lot about how mean people were about his death, and just kind of thought he was like this dumb 20-year-old kid who went to the wilderness and didn't know what he was doing, when in fact that wasn't true at all, and it just happenstance that he ended up eating something poisonous, they think. But yeah, it was really, really good. I did enjoy it, and so I would recommend it if you're kind of into like that nonfiction, you know, how somebody ended up dying type thing. So this is the first book on my TBR that I finished. I also had to read Seventh Decimate by Stephen Donaldson. This one I did start in February and I did finish on the 2nd of March. It was really good. It's about this war between a place called Bellinger and Amnica and their sorcery, and it's kind of the journey on how to end this war. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I am going to pick up the second one to see, you know, if it gets better, and depending on how the second one is, will kind of determine if I pick up the third one, because it is a trilogy. I just feel like there was lacking in like the explanation of how everything works, and there wasn't, you know, I personally feel like it was lacking in the development and kind of how everything worked. I enjoyed it, but it definitely isn't something I'm going to rave about and, you know, kind of want everybody to read. But I am going to be picking up the second one, and so I finished this, so yeah. And then the next book I picked up and didn't finish in February is Monster by Walter Dean Myers, adapted by Guy Sims. A. Sims, because this was a novel, and then Guy A. Sims made it into a graphic novel. And so I am about 40 pages into this, and I will be finishing it here today after I'm done editing this video so I can get it up because it's Wednesday. So I really don't know what this is about still. I like going into books not knowing what it's about, and I'm only 40 pages in, so as far as I'm aware, it's just about a trial and a robbery. So yeah, I will be hopefully finishing this today, and I will update you on what it's about at the end of March. Okay, and last but not least, book number 4 was The Song of Achilles, and I am 16 pages into this, so I did start all 3 last month, and I did roll all 3 of them over. But with last month being such a hard month for me mentally, I'm going to be a little gracious and say it's totally okay. So I am not going to finish this today at all, but I will be finishing it this month, and if I don't, then I'm going to have to think of a very creative punishment for myself to kind of balance out me buying books and not finishing my TBR, but I have a feeling I'll be able to finish this month. Okay, now to get into the rules for March, let's head into the game. Okay, we're starting on number 1 because last month we did end on a book haul, and so yeah, we are starting on square number 1. So let's do the first rule, which is a 1, which is middle grade. Okay, for the first roll, I rolled middle grade, and for that one, I'm picking up Time Sight by Lynn Jonell. I really don't know too much about it, except this guy's mother goes missing, and he kind of has to go and look for her. I believe that's what it's about. Like I said, I really don't like knowing about books going into them. I bought it for its cover. I liked the cover a lot, and from kind of what I read from the synopsis, it sounded really good, so I will be picking this up for my middle grade, as well as the Buzzwordathon, which is time in the title, so I will be reading this in the first week of March to fulfill the Buzzwordathon prompt, time in the title. And we've got a 10, which is a classic. Okay, and then for the second roll, I rolled classic, and for that one I am picking up Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I have no idea what this is about. I know everybody does, I don't. My mom and dad bought it for me. It was one of the Barnes & Noble's beautiful editions. So I will be picking it up this month and hopefully be able to tell you at the end of March what this is about, but I have Great Expectations for my classic. We've got a 4, which is fiction. Okay, and the third roll was fiction, and for that one I am picking up The Apartment, which I did pick up for Polarathon, but I only read about 14 pages, I'm just going to continue with it this month. And it is about a guy who moves to Europe and meets this girl, and she helps him find an apartment. Other than that, I have no idea what it's about. I don't know if it's a love story. I don't know if anything else about it, except this lady helps this guy find an apartment when he just ups and moves to Europe. And then we rolled a 9. A 9, which is graphic novel. Corner now. Okay, and for the fourth and technically last roll for my TBR, my rolls are I roll 4. I rolled graphic novel, and for that I am picking up Twilight graphic novel 1. I love Twilight. It's one of the series that got me into reading when I was younger, and so I am excited to be able to finally read the graphic novel. I've owned this for many, many years and haven't read it, so I am tossing that on to my TBR for graphic novel. 12, which is other. And then this month I am going to try and do 5 rolls. Now if I don't read this 5th book, I am not penalized at all. I do just have to read the first 4, and for the 5th roll I rolled other, and for that I am picking up Dinosaurs on Other Planets by Danielle McLaughlin. I have no idea what it's about, but the cover was really striking, and I am curious as what Dinosaurs on Other Planets means to her, because I believe this is a collection of short stories. So yeah, for my 5th roll I am going to be picking up Dinosaurs on Other Planets. And like I said, if I don't finish this month, it's not going to count as a penalty at all, just because I am adding an extra book on, because the first couple TBR games I did really well with reading all the books within the month. So I'm going to try and up it with one there being more than 28 days and hopefully a better month mentally. So for that I am picking up Dinosaurs on Other Planets. Now I'm also participating in a couple readathons this month. Like I already said, I'm doing Buzzwordathon, and for that one I'm reading Timeside by Lynn Joelle for the Buzzwordathon by Books and Lala, and then I'm also doing Tis the Damn Readathon hosted by Drinking by My Shelf and a couple other people. I will have that video linked down below so you can kind of see, because it is a whole month-long readathon, and it is Taylor Swift inspired. And so let me just show you my bullet journal little thing for it. So we've got all of her albums. We've got Reputation, 1989, Folklore, Lover, Fearless, Evermore, Red, Taylor Swift, and Speak Now. And so I have picked a couple books and a couple of the other challenges for each of them. And so I'm going to kind of just go over what I'm going to be doing for each one and which book from my TBR I'm sliding into these slots. And because it is a month-long readathon, I have a feeling I will be able to check off all the books on my list. So for the first album, we've got Reputation, and for that one I picked the song Dress, and it is to match a book to an outfit. I have not decided which book I'm going to do yet. I kind of have an idea already. So you'll have to just look at my Instagram, which I will have linked down below, to see which book I will be doing and what outfit I choose. Okay, and then the next album is 1989, and for that one, I picked Shake It Off. And for that prompt, it is make a cocktail or mocktail. I haven't fully decided which one I'm going to do. I will probably post it either in a vlog or on my Instagram. I'm kind of thinking a lemon drop martini because I like those. But like I said, I really haven't decided, so you'll just have to wait and see what I do for that prompt. Sorry if my voice is getting a little scratchy. I've been talking a lot today. Okay, and then the next album is Folklore, and for that one I picked the song Folklore, and it is to read a book based off of mythology, a fairy tale, or a retelling. And for that one, since I am already pulling it over to this month, I might as well fit it into the readathon. I'm doing the Song of Achilles, and so I will be reading it for that prompt. Next, we've got Lover, which I chose the song Lover, and it is a 5-star prediction. I typically don't star rate my books, but a book I think I'm going to absolutely love is going to be Twilight. I already know I love the original book, so I have a feeling I'm going to love the graphic novel. Fingers crossed, so I'm reading Twilight for that prompt. Next, we've got Fearless, and for that one, I chose the song Fearless, and it is to read a book you are intimidated by, and for that, I am sliding the Great Expectations by Charles Dickens into there because it's huge, it's a classic, I'm scared. So definitely intimidated by this, and so it'll fit that prompt nicely. And then next, we have Red, and I chose the song Red for that one, and it is to read a book with red on the title, and for that, another one for my TBR is The Apartment. The Apartment is red and she's got a little red hat on, so I will be putting that in there as well. Okay, and then the next album is Taylor Swift, and for that one I chose the song Picture to Burn, and that is to post your book onto your Instagram story. So some point throughout the month I'm just going to have to snap a photo and post it to my Instagram story to check that one off. And next we have Evermore, and for that one I picked No Body, No Crime Potentially. I'm gonna kind of leave that one open because that is to read a mystery or thriller, which I'm really hoping to get. I did just purchase a couple, you'll see a book haul soon, that I really want to get to. But if I can't, then I will be picking the other prompt that requires no reading, which I can't remember off the top of my head and I didn't write down, but that is what I'll be doing for that one. You'll have to stay tuned and watch one of my vlogs to see. Okay, and then lastly, we've got the album Speak Now, and for that one, I chose the song If This Were a Movie, and that is to read a book that has a movie adaptation, and for that one, I am reading I Am Number 4. I will be listening to that through audio because I don't own it. And so yeah, that is all I will be reading for the Tis the Damn Readathon. And I will also be participating in JD Ray Reads Which Land Along. And so I will also be picking up Truth Rich by Suzanne Denard. And so yeah, hopefully I will be able to finish this and join in on the live show at the beginning of April. I'm super excited. I purchased all the books, and I've been wanting to do a read-along since I saw them happen, so I'm happy to be able to hopefully pick that up this month. So we're gonna show you all the books I will be reading this month. This is my TBR, plus potentially 2 more. So yeah, I will hopefully be able to read all of these this month. If you'll just have to stay tuned and watch my vlogs and come back next month and I will let you know. And yeah, so that is my monthly TBR game and all the books I will be reading in March. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye!